Good morning, peeps. We are back at the cabin site, and I will give you update on how our build is going. Well, his build. Okay, what's up?
Okay, well, we got the 4 sole logs down. Yeah, so this was the first one I notched in, and had a little bit of trouble with my scribe, so I modified it and scribed that one. I'm scribing the floor as well, so that it's tight to the floor and a nice tight notch on the side, on the corners. And that's what I'm trying for anyways. And that was my second one. Turned out a little better. And yeah, no, we're just gonna keep going. Actually, I've got some gasket material, so I've got to now pull all these up and staple some gasket material to the bottom of the logs, so where they contact the stones, that they'll have a separation from that concrete to the wood. There'll be about a 1/4 inch gasket material.
Why do you have to put gasket?
It'll help keep those logs from rotting, because they're gonna be a little bit of moisture coming up in the slab, and
Oh,
it just gets that separation, and it'll seal the log to where to the stone. And yeah, that's the plan anyway.
so you have to pull up all these logs and then
Yeah,
put
I
the
gotta flip
gasket
them over, and I'm probably gonna paint the bottom of the log with either paint or oil or something to and underneath where the logs contact, I'm gonna paint the inside of the logs with either oil or paint or something.
to protect it from moisture.
Yeah, to try to preserve it.
Okay. All right. This is perfect scribing.
This is the worst one right here, I think. This is my worst fit right here, I believe. See how it's got a little bit of a gap there?
Yeah.
You want to try and avoid that, but I mean it's pretty good, I guess. Like, I'll accept that for my first time. It's hard to get them to be tight. Like, look at this one. I still got to erase that marker, but it's touching. It's pretty much touching that log all the way around, and it's touching the ground. That's what you want. It's a perfect gap. You can't. I mean,
Oh, there's no gap.
it isn't the stones that Machu Picchu, but it's pretty much second to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't slip a piece of paper in between the two.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And I'll show you the difference. The first scribe I did on that side.
Didn't you make like
Yeah.
a handmade scribing tool?
That's this. So the first scribe I made, I didn't have the levels, so I was just kind of estimating level, which is really tough to do because you can see how touchy these bubbles are here. You want to keep this thing, when you're scribing, level in both directions, and that ensures the relationship from this pen to this point is exactly the same, except up whatever you set the scriber at.
That's
So I
pretty
can
neat.
adjust the pens in and out with these, so that you want to set it up when you're scribing. Like, I take a level line like this. Come see this. I've got a level line here, and I know it's level. And so I'll adjust my pencils in and out, so that when I'm scribing, that this one is level, and then this way I make sure I touch both lines This pen has got a slight bend in it. I heat it up with my lighter and put a bend in it so I can adjust the relationship from the top pen to the bottom pen so that I can make sure that when these two points are touching, I've got my bubbles are right on. So that's how I know how I can ensure accuracy.
Wow, that's a pretty nice tool.
You can buy these, you can buy them real fancy ones that got adjustments everywhere, and you know, but they're about 400 bucks, 500
Oh,
bucks.
really?
Yeah.
We don't want to spend money in this cabin.
Yeah.
So everything's just made out of resources,
Yeah.
like what we have.
We had
That's
this pile of
pretty nice.
concrete on the property, so that's why we used it. Logs are cut off the property, and you know, this is our property, so it hasn't cost us anything yet.
Other than gas, which is not that much.
I made
for
this little
tractor.
rig on the tractor last winter specifically to do this job. Lift log, like this thing can lift the log, you know, 12 feet in the air. Heavy as well, like can lift these big heavy logs way up there with minimal effort. Like, you know, I had these two cranes just sitting in the garage, really wasn't using them much. So I welded them onto the tractor.
Yeah, this is how do you call that? Almost similar to the asset scriber you have. It's like
Homemade.
homemade scriber and homemade, what's that thing? Lifter?
Well, yeah, crane.
Crane. Yeah. And these logs are, how much do these logs weigh? Like if a normal people will have to lift it.
Like, these logs are probably close to 1,000 pounds
Each?
each, yeah.
Like cut already, or the whole log, the whole tree?
Well, the whole tree can be more, like, the whole tree is a lot more. Like, I'd say this 17-foot log is roughly, I don't know, I'd say 800 to 1,000 pounds.
And these pieces of concrete, how much is this weigh? For
Well,
example,
this piece right here is about 1,200 pounds. It's almost a foot thick, or it is a foot thick, and yeah, it's about 1,200 pounds. So they range from about, you know, probably 300 to 1,200 pounds.
Yeah, there's so many of them, probably 20. And all lifted by that crane.
So our plan is, once we got a roof on here, we're going to grout this floor with clay off the property, and then we're going to put a sealer on it.
Do we have to buy the sealer, or can we make one?
We'll try and steal the sealer, honey. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah.
We're gonna have to buy tin for the roof as well.
Yeah.
But once we get to that
we
point,
have tin.
yeah. Well, once we get it to that point, we won't mind investing a little bit of money in it, you know.
Yeah.
But so far, it's net zero.
Yep. This is no cost cabin. Well, close. No cost cabin. What you're looking at?
I'm looking at the fit up between where the two logs meet. I'm looking how tight that is. You know how tough that is to get it fitting tight. It's hard, because first I mark it out with my fancy pen here, and then I gotta carve it out with a chainsaw, which isn't like the most delicate tool. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. That's where you get your saw back. Because chainsaws are heavy.
Yeah. I need to use a smaller chainsaw, but
That must be hard because you have to like measure, lift up, put down, measure, turn it over.
I use this crane to lift the logs.
But it's
Like, I'll mark it, and then I'll roll it over, and I position the log on the back of the tractor there, so it's nice, and I can adjust the height of it, and
yeah.
you know, put it at a good working height.
Sounds tough. I wouldn't be able to make this. Oh, maybe smaller logs I could, you know? I could do it in smaller logs. Like
That's a lot
that.
easier building a log cabin with small logs because then you can lift them.
Yeah,
These logs are too heavy to move by hand.
yeah. That's what makes it harder because they're too big. It looks small in the camera, but if you sit right beside it, it's huge. These are huge logs, especially the one on the
Which is the largest one? Well, that one on the bottom, these
that
two,
one.
it was one log cut in half. So this was a
Oh yeah, this would be the biggest.
when I cut
because
this
it's
tree, it
half.
was probably 28 inches at the bottom, 28 inches in diameter. I had to cut about, I don't know, 6 or 8 feet off of the log because it was rotten a bit at the bottom.
Oh really?
But still, this is like even 8 feet up from the bottom. This thing was still, I don't know, good 24 inches in diameter, or 26.
What did you do with the other? Cause you cut the end of it, right? Like maybe, cause it was
the
longer. Yeah, the other piece of the logs.
The other piece is sitting up there. It's right here. This is the other part.
Where?
That's the
Oh.
piece that I cut off of it.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
That has so many knots on it.
So my next step is to roll these logs over and put some gasket material on the bottom. At the same time, I'm going to coat the bottom with the preservative, and I'll probably, once I have them up off the ground, I'll probably use my sander to make the knots and the edges, take any imperfections off of them, clean them up so that I don't have to do it laying on the ground.
Oh.
And then after that, I'm going to start placing logs. Like my next log to go will be either this side or that side. Big end over here, small end over there. And then I'll do these two, and then I'll do 2 more. Actually, I'll probably do these 2, and then I'll probably put a door frame in this front log so that I don't have to have logs that are 17 feet long as they're going up through the door frame. I'll be able to have, 14 feet will do the same job as a 17 footer because I'll put the gap where the door frame is. Yeah, that's the plan anyway.
All right, that's really good plan. How long do you think you will be able to finish this?
When will it be finished?
Yep.
Well, I'd like to have it closed in by the end of next season.
Right on. Well, here you go, guys. We'll keep you updated on how it's gonna go. Here's our builder, our awesome builder. All right, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.